We want to go to breaking news in Sky 5, coming up upon an RV that is on fire. Tim Lynn with more. Tim.
Well, the scary part about this is a propane station here at Lancashire and the San Fernando Road. You see that white tower right there. I don't know if he was taking on propane at the time, but it just broke out as we were making our approach into Whiteman Airport. But you see the flames are just ripping through there. Now they're having to deal with not only the propane in there, and also right adjacent there. I'm looking to see the person there with a hose trying to fight that fire, but right now it's going to look like a total loss, but hopefully it doesn't get into that propane tank, which is right next to it. But this RV going up here right at the intersection of San Fernando Road and Lancashire here just on the west side of Pacoima. And hopefully, like I said, that propane tanks, they have an emergency system on it that will let them bleed out and not explode. But, you know, you never know in this situation what might happen. But you can see a pretty good fire load underneath that van. And I'm trying to look to see if he had the propane line coming to it, because normally there'll be a hose that comes up, hooks into the side of the RV when they put the propane inside of it. Right now I don't see that hose, but I do see a spent fire extinguisher, and now they're doing their best with that little hose. Firefighters are not on scene at this moment, and hopefully they can get here pretty quick and keep the fire away from that tank. But right now the wind is blowing pretty. Oh, you see right there, that's what happens. The tank just reached its limit, and it valve opened up and blew out the contents of it. So you see that man jump back, and that's one of the safety features of the tanks aboard these RVs. And so I was going to say the wind is coming out of the north, as you can see, blowing this smoke and fire away from that propane storage tank. And you can see right now that smoke heading up over San Fernando Road. Still not seeing any firefighting apparatus coming this way along San Fernando Road. This will be Engine 98's area coming down into here. But that man right there doing everything he can to save his RV, but with very little success, as he just uses that small hose, and the fire is completely consuming the right side, as you can see. But yeah, it's just a bad situation here. No other vehicles around it. The buildings are far away. You can see another release of propane right there. So luckily it's doing what it's supposed to do and not holding that pressure in and then exploding after the tank reaches its limit. And also you have to deal with here is fuel on board too, as far as gasoline. The tank is usually on these RVs dead center, and I'm sure it's already covered by fire. Now you see it just roaring off, so possibly the gas tank just was broken out. The fire just really taken off now, getting up into the interior of it. And that man with the hose, he just pretty much, there's not much he can do. Flame links jumping up, you know, at least 20, 30 feet away from the van. Fire just puking out of the right side of this car, this RV, as it fire on the ground. You can see just rolling away from it. But hopefully the fire department will get here pretty quickly and knock this thing down. Right now, if that wind was coming out of the south, it'd be sending all that heat and fire right up against that storage tank, as you see right there next to the blue tarp. And you see the man just finally, yeah, he just gave up. There's nothing he can do. And see, it's going to be a total loss here. But it doesn't look like there's any other vehicles in the lot that are going to be hampered or hazarded by this fire. But unfortunately, this man right here watching his property just go up in flames. Like I said, I don't know if they're in the process of loading propane on board, but he's parked in a position that you'd normally be to get that propane. You see the fire now coming underneath and picking up and going through the cab area. So, wow, just a very, very, look at it. We see there, Chris, dark black hose. Yeah, there it is. There's the hose right up against, let me move Sky 5 ahead here. Ahead here. You see that black hose going up to the left side? That is the propane delivery system, and they hook it in there, and it's a high pressure line that goes in, and normally those tanks are just there, but now you can see the fire coming over off the left side here. I don't know if they hit the emergency switch to shut off the pumps that send that propane over, but hopefully they did, so they're not going to deal with a flow. I can see, yeah, right there, it is hooked into the propane tank, that little silver nozzle right there. Now you saw the tire just explode as well once that tire burns out. But still looking down, I'm not seeing firefighting apparatus. Up here they come from the south, up San Fernando Road, so they'll roll in on scene here, and they'll make quick work of this. But unfortunately, this man's RV is a complete loss as we watch it here burn away. And like I said, luckily the wind blowing out of the north, keeping the heat and flames away from that storage tank. Single engine coming north on San Fernando Road. He'll be coming into our shot here any second, and I'll guarantee you they'll put a quick response with the 500 gallons of water they have aboard this engine to get onto this fire. I'm sure more resources are coming in as well. I'm looking north on San Fernando to see if 98s are coming down this way, but right now you see the firefighters moving in, assessing the situation, seeing which direction they're going to make the attack, and more likely going to use foam to put this fire out. But you can see right here, this truck is pretty much a total loss, and right now their concern is that supply of propane. Hopefully they hit the emergency button, as I said, to knock that off. So we'll watch the firefighters come in and see what great work they do getting here, knocking this thing down as quickly as possible. They're now bringing lines in off of San Fernando, and you should be able to see them come in from the driveway there. Here he comes, getting right in there and starting. He'll start his flow here any second. Like I said, this fire truck or fire engine. Oh, right there. Do you see that? Yeah, that's the supply line coming off the main. So obviously they didn't shut it off. So yeah, that pipe or the hose, which is a rubber hose, high pressure propane, just let go there. So it backed that firefighter off really quick. And now he's coming back in to make his attack. You see the engineer trying to get back into the engine there, going to move the engine. And I think they're just going to say, we need to move a little bit further away due to the fact that they have that large storage container there, and they don't want to be that close to that thing become involved. But yeah, you see the fire squirting right there off that hose. I'll move Sky 5 ahead. Chris doing a great job zooming in right there, and that's where that big blast came from. So now you have this radiant heat that's coming off this bird. TV5, Roger. And you see the radiant heat will be coming off this truck as it continues to burn. And now, even though you got the wind going that direction, you're seeing things starting to steam right there. Yeah, they're getting a lot of heat. So I'm going to start backing Sky 5 off. That blue tarp has melted away. I'm going to kind of move a little bit to the north here in case things start letting go down there. I don't want to be part of the problem here, but you see the firefighters there. They were going to move the rig out of the way, but it looks like they've decided to get in there and fight the fire. I don't see any firefighters with hoses coming in, but yeah, I'm sure as soon as that guy got close to it, and then you saw a big blast of fire come out of there, I'm sure that changed his idea about getting too close to it. And right now this thing is going up in flames, and kind of watching that tank area there. As I said, that blue tarp is melted completely away. And right now you see the steam and the smoke. I've got a fire right down there at the base, right by that shopping cart.
Yeah, and up
you can see right there
storage tank as well on the line, but they see it. Clearly they see it.
Yeah. Here comes the cooling lines. They're going to start throwing water on this tank to cool it down. Nothing they can do for this the van, so they're going to do what they can to get the heat off this tank. And now, bravely moving in there, throwing water on the fire and trying to knock it down. But man, that one blast of fire, had that firefighter been in the position he's in right now, it would have been a different story here. But jamming directly into it,
Ooh, wow.
Getting right in there and putting the wet stuff on the red stuff, knocking this thing down. But he does see the fire is coming out from underneath on him, so he's got to be really careful, listening to his captain behind him, directing him to put the water where he needs it, to keep an eye on his surroundings. So right now the van complete loss, but luckily that main storage tank didn't get involved as well. And we can see right now firefighters putting water on it now, knocking the fire down in that van. But first moments there, Micah and Shara, Micah, it was close. Man, I thought sure it was going to get into that tank. And then, all bets are off.
You see these firefighters, and this is just a very clear example of how they put themselves in the line of fire. And as we've been watching this, it has been the direction of that wind that has really dictated the storyline here. A triple threat with this RV. Not only the gas tank on board, but the onboard propane tank, as Tim's been walking us through. And then you see the big white propane storage tank there on the property of what appears to be a gas station or some sort of a repair yard for vehicles. And a frightening scenario for a few moments. You saw the RV, we presume to be the RV's owner, trying his best with a fire hose and also with a fire extinguisher to no avail. But this RV clearly a total loss. But from what we can tell, nobody has been hurt, which to this point is really the best outcome you can hope for in a situation like this. Enough wind there. Had it been shifted in the opposite direction, this could have been a whole different story, Tim.
Yeah, and then you see the firefighter trying to get the back door open. And I'm watching a firefighter with his hose. He's being very conservative with the water because he only has 500 gallons of water to work with. And they're trying to get that back door open so they can get to the interior portion of this RV, which is still well involved. When he pops that door, you're going to see a pretty good size bit of flame coming out. There's flame still coming out from underneath. Hopefully he'll just jam it through the window there. Yep, that's just what he did, and start putting water inside. So yeah, whole different story. Had the wind been coming from the south like it normally does here in Pacoima. You know, the winds favor from the south most days, but today we got that north wind blowing, and luckily for that, that big tank didn't become involved.
There it is. Tim Lynn reporting in Sky 5 on a very tense situation there in the valley that now appears to be under control. Firefighters on scene. Tim, thank you. To Vera Jimenez quickly for a little look at that 7-day as